What is living in alignment? Living in alignment is a term used to describe the state of being or quality of life you'll experience when your human self is living in partnership with your spiritual self. Living in alignment occurs naturally when you allow your soul, a term used to refer to your spiritual self, to lead your life. Instead of allowing societal conditioning to override your inner truth or intuition, you'll learn to listen to and follow the guidance and promptings from your soul. The Living in Alignment model and body of knowledge was specifically created to ensure that you'll be successful in having source energy lead your life. Living in alignment is a self-directed approach that is free from dogma. The Living in Alignment body of knowledge and skill base is intended to streamline, accelerate, and ground your process of self-empowerment and transformation. The main premise of the Living in Alignment model. From the perspective of living in alignment, we are both human and spiritual beings, not one or the other, but both. If you prefer, spiritual beings is synonymous with energy beings. Many people are living their lives caught up in the extremes. Either there is no higher power, and what we see before our eyes is all there is, or physical reality is unimportant and insignificant, and all of the focus should be on our spirituality. Others are disconnected from, antagonistic, or indifferent toward their spiritual self. The Living in Alignment approach is designed to develop a healthy and sustainable relationship with both the human and spiritual aspects of who you are. 3 key objectives of the Living in Alignment model. To assist people to develop a personal relationship with source energy. To assist people to live in partnership with source energy. And to assist people to have a conscious experience of this vital relationship. Why living in alignment and why now? Living in alignment is both a response and a solution to the world's ever-increasing madness. This madness is a blatant indicator that we're living our lives being primarily externally resourced, being overly identified with our humanness and the 3-dimensional world, and being out of touch with our spiritual self and universal wisdom, being internally resourced. This madness is our wake-up call to realign our human self with our soul as a means to deepen our connection with source energy and live more consciously. Going within to access your soul's wisdom will shed light on how you can best respond to the world's madness, including your own and its consequences. You will gain insight on how you are intended to foster wellness and unity consciousness in your own life and in the world around you. What does it mean to be internally resourced? Being internally resourced is when you defer to and rely upon source energy, the power that is greater than the resources of your mind, to be your most important point of reference, your go-to resource. Becoming internally resourced is achieved by attuning to your intuition, what feels right, and learning to listen to and follow the guidance and promptings from your soul. The more internally resourced you become, the more self-empowered you become, and the sooner you move into a position of becoming your own authority. Becoming internally resourced is a lifelong practice of deepening your connection with source energy, while becoming increasingly aware of the remarkable results and the wondrous unfolding of your life. Two ways of living, being externally resourced versus internally resourced. The most distinguishing characteristic of people who are primarily externally resourced is that they are overly identified with their human self and the conditioning of the three-dimensional world. People who are primarily externally resourced are functioning at a deficit on account that they often don't recognize the existence of their spiritual self, nor do they defer to or rely upon this power that is greater than the resources of their mind or intellect. It is by developing a personal relationship and partnering with your spiritual self that you gain access to universal wisdom. Gaining access to universal wisdom will illuminate every aspect of your life in ways that facilitate self-empowerment and foster personal transformation. The Living in Alignment approach will assist you to experience the qualitative differences between being primarily externally resourced and being internally resourced. Stay in conflict versus forgiveness. Superiority, inferiority versus equality. Me mentality versus us mentality. Being controlled by outside influences versus listening to inner wisdom. Living in survival mode versus experiencing soul actualization. Insecurity versus serenity. Hopelessness versus meaning and purpose. Dysfunctional versus healthy relationships. Resistance versus acceptance. Active in addictions versus skillful living. Shame-based reality versus self-love. Core concepts of the Living in Alignment model. Source energy is consciousness itself. You have a choice about the kind of relationship you have with source energy. Your soul is a unique aspect of source energy within, while other people and life forms represent source energy manifested around you. Your soul has a calling, and it incarnates to complete that calling. Spiritual guidance is continually being offered. You need only to open up and receive it. As your mind comes into alignment with your soul, the easier it becomes for your human self to experience the presence of your soul. All experiences and events are intended to benefit you. You co-create your reality, and you can learn how to do this with increasing awareness. Benefits of living in alignment. Become receptive to change and to the experiences and events taking place in your life. Experience inspired living. Live authentically and become your own best friend and ally. Change limited beliefs, perceptions, and attitudes. Heal from past or present wounding. Embrace your humanity and the humanity of others. Release resentments and truly forgive. Move out of a fear and shame-based reality. Manifest more satisfying and nurturing relationships. Discover your calling in life. Experience more abundance in your life. Experience more joy, happiness, and love. Create a sustainable spiritual practice and live in partnership with Source Energy. What makes the Living in Alignment approach different? The Living in Alignment approach focuses on the human and spiritual aspects of who we are. The Living in Alignment approach is simple in both theory and in practice. The Living in Alignment approach provides concepts to test out versus doctrine to be adhered to. The Living in Alignment approach offers benefits that are experienced sooner than later. The Living in Alignment approach is a comprehensive spiritual path. The Living in Alignment approach will augment and/or complement other spiritual practices. Who would benefit most from living in alignment? People who are transitioning from organized religion to spirituality. People who want a personal relationship with Source Energy. People who are interested in having Source Energy inspire and lead their lives. People who want to develop a sustainable spiritual practice. People who have unresolved issues with religion or spirituality. And people who want to apply spiritual principles into their everyday lives. I hope that this presentation of the Living in Alignment model has piqued your interest. And for more information about the Living in Alignment approach and the services I provide, please contact me. Cheers to you, to your life, and to the adventure of living in alignment.